Welcome to Big Ten Men's Soccer in 10, which is a quick look at the season ahead and reflection on great moments in program history of the 9 Big Ten men's soccer teams. That means a visit from all 9 head coaches and one special guest from each university. I'm Dean Linke, joined by the man we call the Professor, former goalkeeper at Indiana, Professor Chris Monroe. Welcome, Professor.
Hey, Dean. Great to be here.
And today we visit with the Penn State Nittany Lions. That means their top man, Jeff Cook, doing a great job at Penn State. And Aaron Malloy, who was great on the field and in the classroom, now getting it done with the Portland Timbers program. We welcome Coach Cook and we welcome Aaron Malloy.
Thanks, Dean. Great to be with you guys. Appreciate the time today.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me on.
All right, it's our pleasure. We'll start with you, Coach Cook. Obviously, it's unprecedented times, but let's hope we get a season. And if we do, what kind of Nittany Lions team will we be looking at?
Well, thanks. It has been challenging. There's no doubt about that for all of us, but we're really excited about our team. We're sad to see Aaron go, but excited for his future. But we've got a nice blend, I think, of some returning players to lead the way and some exciting, really hungry, young, talented groups. So we hope to get back out there just as soon as it's safe to do it.
Well, you mentioned those experienced returners and candidate for Defender of the Year, senior defender Brandon Hackenberg. You had Liam Butts, who is first team All Big Ten as a freshman. What helped you make that jump from 6 wins in 2018 up to 12 in 2019? And why do you think that momentum can continue this upcoming season?
Well, I really give a lot of credit to the leadership we had within our group, and Aaron's a prime example of that. But the players you mentioned, Brandon Hackenberg, Liam, Pierre Reed is another great example of someone who really leads the way, and just playing week in, week out with confidence in a highly competitive league. For me, I'm sure you'd agree, the best men's soccer conference in the United States. But that inner team leadership, that core, really helped help us make a good step forward last year.
And looking back, you had great runs as the head coach of Dartmouth and Cincinnati, but would you talk a little bit about how your time in the Philadelphia Union system really prepared you for this role here in Happy Valley?
Thank you. It was a really formative time for me, and one of the things I always try and do is keep learning, no matter how many years you've been in it or how many seasons you've coached. And I think the opportunity to come back into the collegiate game at an institution like Penn State was very exciting for me. But having that exposure to the professional side of the game, I think, changed me as a coach. It increased my network, and I think it helped me to reformulate some of the ideas I had about team building, team development, and I hope it can continue to pay off in the future.
Aaron, during your time at Penn State, you actually saw the coaching change. Talk about what Coach Cook brought to the Nittany Lions program and how he helped you grow as a player and as a person.
Yeah, as soon as coach came in, he challenged me as a player to be the best player I could be, whether it was on the field or off the field, getting all the little things done. But yeah, it was a massive change in the culture, and it's going in the right direction.
And Aaron, you're really known as being a true two-way center midfielder who's equally adept at attacking as you are defending. But I know all central midfielders usually have one little bit of a preference one way or the other. If you had to pick one, attacking or defense, which is the one that you'd slide toward doing more of if you could?
No, that's funny. I think I see myself as a defensive midfield player who likes to be on the ball a lot, takes lots of shots. So an offensive 6, if that kind of makes sense. So it's going to be on the ball as much as possible. So yeah, just kind of in the busy area of the midfield.
Well, that's a perfect answer. And really this last season with the 9 goals and the 6 assists that you had, becoming Big Ten Midfielder of the Year, would you talk a little bit about how Coach and his whole staff really helped you progress that offensive side of your game from that sophomore to junior to then senior season?
Yeah, absolutely. I think stepping out my comfort zone, first of all, from just in my mind, I wanted to be a defensive midfielder, and having conversations and learning every day from practice, from different formations to testing myself. I think that was something that was slightly different heading into the 2019 season, and it's something that I took on, and I wanted to do what would be best for the team. And if that was pushing me a little bit forward, taking some shots, set pieces, I was all for it, and it definitely helped me get to where I am right now.
Coach Cook, I've been lucky to call a lot of great goals, but the one that Aaron scored actually in a loss, although Aaron reminded me the next year he was able to get Maryland back, but that goal he scored right before the halftime whistle at Maryland, one of the all-time great goals. You remember that, Coach Cook?
I certainly do, and I'm just chuckling here because I have my defensive midfielder who was often in the other team's penalty area deep into overtime and say, "Wait, you said you're a defensive midfielder. Get back there." But no, being in those positions, Aaron, I did feel Aaron could threaten the team's goal with unbelievable strikes like that. He had quite a good one this year, if I remember right, against Appalachian State, and some other really key goals. And Chris, as you mentioned, not just great technical strikes, but also in really important moments, which I think is a mark of a very impactful player. So I get a few gray hairs, so I'm trying to keep him in front of our back four, being more defensive. But he had just an incredible season and was a huge part of our success, without a doubt.
Well, Aaron making that jump and then obviously going to the pros, being a first-round draft pick of the Portland Timbers. Coach Cook, what would you say in terms of his development over those couple of years, 3 years that you were with him, pleased you or impressed you the most that you think really allowed him to make that jump to the next level?
I think some of the things he mentioned earlier about just the balance, getting the balance right, is really difficult. And I feel I had some work and experience with Aaron when he was part of the Reading United program, or PDL affiliate with the Union. So I kind of knew what Aaron could bring to the table. But I think getting that balance right between taking risks going forward, but also being there in the key moments to help defensively. And sometimes when you're a player like Aaron, who maybe was at the top of his game, you can take a few more risks that you might not be able to get away with at the next step in the professional game. And I have no doubt that Aaron will succeed in figuring that out here in the coming months.
So with that, Aaron, we'll go to you. How are things going for you in Portland?
Yeah, it's going great. I'm settled in, really enjoying practice, just trying to get games under my belt. And yeah, the goal is obviously to take that next step and be with the first team in MLS. So I'm looking forward to the games ahead.
I have to ask, Aaron, in terms of most memorable college moments, was it that goal against Maryland? Does something else from last season come to mind as you reflect upon your 4 years in Happy Valley?
Yeah, I think the most memorable goal would be against Maryland that year, but I think the most memorable moment would be actually playing Maryland at home the following year, doing the exact same thing, going down 2-0, coming back 2-2 and double overtime when our striker Christian Slow slotted one in. I think for me that was the most memorable moment. It was a great win, and we felt as though we owed them one from the previous year. So yeah, it was a massive win for us and for the program too.
I want you both to speak on the fact that I'm lucky enough to call games all over the country, but my favorite place to call a game is Happy Valley. The environment there is incredible. Coach Cook, it's a special place.
Yeah, we're so fortunate. We have world-class fields and our fan base, and just the environment of being, sitting down in the valley, especially the night games, are just that extra bit special. Representing the Nittany Lions is a really opportunity that we treasure, and to be able to be on that field week in, week out is really special. So we're very grateful for that opportunity.
Yeah, from the first moment I stepped on the Penn State campus, I went to see Jeffrey Field, and that was a place I knew I wanted to spend the rest of my collegiate career. And it's one place that I'll never take for granted. Jeffrey Field is really, really a special place to be.
All right. Well, this has been outstanding as we get set for the Penn State Nittany Lions. A great season a year ago, Coach Cook. No Aaron Malloy, which won't be easy to replace. He may be irreplaceable, but certainly you're going to do your best for sure, Coach Cook. Aaron Malloy, thank you so much for being with us on Big Ten Men's Soccer in 10.